Hello and welcome to Will It Roll. Now this week's episode was supposed to be on World Tanks. It was initially planned to be on that. There have been a sort of hiccups and now it's not going to be on World Tanks. Hopefully that will be next week's one. However, for this week I have an idea, or I can't remember if this was suggested. I can't find where it was suggested. I seem to remember someone seeing this commented somewhere. But yes, we're going to try and roll some of the Tuner Tuesday cards. I've got a selection of them. Unfortunately, I don't have all of them still in my garage, so I couldn't do like every single one. Plus, it would take forever. So I've just sort of picked some at random. Up first, we have got what was the eventual winner. This is a Ford Pinto made by Picnax. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. I still can't believe that a Ford Pinto is the fastest B-class car we had, but here it is. Now, I'm expecting this to be quite a tricky challenge, because the cars that have rolled easily, the Hummer, the Dodge Ram, the Smart Car, and other ones, all the ones that have rolled very easily have been very high centre of gravity, so relatively high ride height. These are all cars designed to go around the track very, very fast, so they should have, or they will have, relatively low ride height. So, how hard will it be to roll the Ford Pinto? Well, yeah, no, not very hard at all. That was first attempt, and that's a big crash. I don't quite know, it seems to sort of look like it even accelerates once it goes onto two wheels into the wall. It's a bit of a weird one. That every time I see that clip, it looks like it suddenly picks up speed once it gets on two wheels, and it gets flung at the wall really quite fast. That's quite a nasty crash there for the Pinto. There's some bonus footage as well. I was driving around to sort of, finish the lap to save the replay, and I managed to roll it off the curb coming onto the banking section. I didn't know you could roll a car there. I don't think I've ever rolled one there particularly. The cameraman doesn't know what to do, so there we go. It's a bonus sort of double roll for the Pinto. So yeah, that's a very flippable car. See, I made up a word there. Up next, we have the fastest front-wheel drive car. This one was from Gunnerman 1100. We didn't have very many front-wheel drive cars, I'm going to be honest. This one finished in 11th. I tend not to be a big fan of front-wheel drive. I'm sure most of you will probably know that who watch our videos regularly, but this is a very, very nice car. If tuned properly, and if they don't have too much power, then it's fine. This is a properly tuned one, very, very quick car. If most of our leaderboard was very close together, so saying it was in 11th, it really wasn't that slow. So yes, again, this is a race car, it's a race tune, so it's going to be low to the ground. As you can see, it's a pretty low car anyway. The Integra is not exactly high, so the centre of gravity should be fairly low, but it still rolled on the first attempt. And again, there's another nasty crash there from the Integra. Now, I guess you could say these cars are faster than a lot of the cars we have. A lot of the cars we have here are standard and aren't particularly quick, but then when you think, we had an Aston Martin DBS, that's going to be quicker. That was a right pain to roll, and that would probably have slightly higher ride height than these what are essentially tuned racing cars. So yeah, this isn't making a huge amount of sense. So up next we have a Ferrari Dino. This was, or equal oldest. I think the Nissan Fairlady Z is around the same year, or it's very, very close between the two. So yeah, this was one of the oldest car. It was the oldest car we had. Put in a pretty respectable time. I can't remember where it came from. This one was made by Indo Merit. I hope I pronounced that one right again. I'm sorry, my pronunciation is always terrible. You should know that by now, though, to be honest. So yes, we've got the Ferrari Dino. I quite like this car. I can never quite decide if it looks good or looks weird. It's sort of, from some angles it looks quite nice, and from other angles it looks quite weird. If you look at it head on, it kind of looks a little bit like a frog. Look, see there, it's a bit of a strange car. So can we get 3 out of 3 on the first attempt? And no, we can't. See, that was what I was expecting. That's what I was expecting from most of these race cars. I thought this was going to be a really very nasty and hard video, and I probably won't be able to roll them. So yeah, we're going to turn this one around. We're going to have another go. This has to be one of the lowest cars that we have. I mean, look how low that is to the ground. So yeah, this one here should be a really very tricky car to roll. Admittedly, it will have stiffer suspension probably than a normal car. So we go attempt number 2, and that one's rolled as well. Well, this is turning out to be a very easy will it roll. I think we should do racing cars more often. So yeah, the Ferrari Dino has rolled. So 3 out of 3 have been rolled within, well, probably that's probably taken the amount of time it normally takes me to do half of one normal car. Up next, we have the Toyota Prius. Now, I know I said I wouldn't do a Prius because we're saving it for something special, but I kind of forgot when I went to the film for this. So yes, you're going to get to watch a Prius roll, hopefully. That was a spoiler. Damn it. I should have thought that one through. Yes, we have a Toyota Prius here. This one was made by Epic Legend and some X's somewhere in his name. This was the slowest car that we had because it was a mental understeery and wheel spinny car. So yes, we will get revenge on this car later on, don't worry. We still have something planned for that. It's just a bit pain organising it. So anyway, how long will it take the Prius to roll? First attempt? No. This is more of a, I wouldn't say traditional, that's probably not the right word, but this is like a lot of the other cars that we've had on Will It Roll. It's not particularly cooperative, as you see there again. It's kind of lifting a wheel up a little bit through there. I actually managed to get it on more on 2 wheels through the second sort of curve through there, and then somehow managed to get it into a tank slapper. That's not a phrase you normally associate with a Prius. Anyway, I carried on with it, and this is a couple of minutes in, and again, you see it's starting to get on 2 wheels there. I nearly managed to find that tyre wall. That tyre wall there is really not very nice. It's quite tricky at avoiding that one when you're on 2 wheels. However, of course, I was persistent with the Prius, and this really didn't take very long. I have to say, I was expecting these cars to take a lot longer. The Prius fell over. This was the longest of the lot, actually. It took the longest time to do. It was only about 5 minutes, which really isn't particularly long compared to some of the cars we've had on Will It Roll. I think the Aston Martin and the Chevy stock car took like half an hour each, and then I had to go upgrade them because I was getting bored of them. But yeah, that's 5 minutes of driving, and we managed to get the Prius to fall over. Up next, we have probably the ugliest car. No offences intended, but that front bumper is just hideous. From the back, it looks fine. It looks a little bit weird, but it looks fine. From the front, it looks like a fish. This one was made by G Racer X. I actually went and downloaded this car especially for this video challengey majig, because I wanted to try and roll the rather odd looking, I'm going to put it kindly now, the rather odd looking CRX Del Sol. Again, I was expecting this one to be relatively tricky. It's a very, very small car, and it's very low to the ground. Central gravity would probably be fairly low. First attempt, and well, it got on 2 wheels, which is always a good sign when you're doing your first sort of run. Quite well on 2 wheels as well, I have to say. Going for a second attempt now, and that's looking a little bit more promising. This may have hit the wall, and I hate that tyre wall. It's really annoying. The problem being, if you haven't watched before, the problem being once you get your car on 2 wheels, you lose steering, and these cars are pretty quick, so you lose steering and you can't get it stopped in time, and it hits the wall. So this is the 3rd attempt, I think. I'm pretty sure this was the 3rd attempt for it, and there we go. It rolled and then did some more flips, and it's quite a spectacular crash actually from the Del Sol. So there we go. Nothing we've done with Will It Roll makes sense really now, because these race cars that are very low central gravities roll easier than the cars that have high yeah, I'm pretty sure that physics shouldn't make sense in there at all. The final car we have for you today is TJ's Versa from the last episode we had of Tutor Tuesday. This one is kind of a jelly car. The suspension is very, very soft. It's not raised. It's not got really high suspension, so it won't quite roll over in a straight line like the Jeep we had a few weeks ago. So this one is a little bit tricky. Amazingly, this wasn't last place for lap times. How it isn't last, I don't know. Which makes me wonder how fast this car would have been had it been sensible suspension. But anyway, considering Stig rolled this car on an actual flying lap, I can't imagine it's going to be too tricky for me, as I managed to kind of roll it off the wrong curb. I don't know how I managed to get that one on 2 wheels through there, and I sort of missed. So there goes my hope of getting this one done in one shot. But it can't really be too hard, can it? To roll this silly bouncy Versa. So second attempt, we're going to attack the curb, and the soft suspension actually kind of worked against this car a little bit. Through there, you can see when you hit the curb, rather than sort of pinging the car over, it just sort of took all of the forces. And it also makes it quite tricky to navigate through these sections because it doesn't handle very well. The 3rd attempt, and it rolled over before the normal corner. I've never rolled a car off there. I've never seen a car rolled off that section. So there we go. TJ's Versa has rolled. That's not really a surprise though, is it? And then the brake comes on for good measure. Don't ask why. I don't understand that one either. So there we go. I rolled some of the Tuner Tuesday cars. They were all very, very easy, which surprised me. Next week, it will be on World of Tanks, and that should be fun. Hopefully Stevie's microphone will be working, or if not, he will probably be there but won't be able to talk. However, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.